Hey y'all, this is Marla K. Hope everybody is well. I want to share this story with you because, well, I'll just put it like this. Things are going to happen, but we're not going to know who is responsible for it. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't really give a crap. All I care about is we need to know these things are happening. We need to know these things are being telegraphed to warn us that they're happening. And then we need to prepare for what's to come. I don't get caught up in who anybody says is to blame for anything because as Yaakov, the true children of Israel, we know we are under duress, we are under attack, and there is a confederacy against us. Every nation on this planet is against us. And if they have a chance to protect themselves and throw us under the bus, they will. So to me, it doesn't matter. We are going to be collateral damage. And so my goal is to tell you what they say and not to get caught up in this country is doing this and this nation is saying that and this one is good and this one is bad. They're all bad. There are no good guys sometimes. And that is something that we're having to, learn how to process that there are no good guys right now. The adversary is using everybody and we're just watching a movie. We are in it. We are part of it. We are being chased and we just need to be ready because the goal is to eliminate as many of us as they can because if we don't cry out then they get to stay in power longer. So the awakening is happening. People are waking up. Unfortunately, not enough of our people, but still, nonetheless, the awakening is happening. And social media is a tool, and the internet is a tool that is helping us. Well, that is going to be going away soon. And when it comes back up, we won't be able to use it the same way. So, this is why it's really important for us to pay attention to these forecasts that they give us. So, this says Congress told how Chinese goons plan to incite societal chaos in the U.S. American public is way ahead of them. Now, this story came out on the 1st of February, 2024, and it is from the register.com. So, allegedly, our government is telling our representatives that the dragon is planning on attacking our infrastructure. Well, we don't know. How we'll never know because our people lie so much and so well. And if the other people do it, we won't know because we don't work in intelligence. Like we won't know. And it really will not matter because if they damage the infrastructure or do something to it, excuse me, we're gonna be so busy trying to survive, we ain't gonna care who did it. We just gonna want it fixed. So anyway, Chinese attackers are preparing to wreak havoc on American infrastructure and cause societal chaos in the U.S., InfoSec and law enforcement bosses told a U.S. House committee on Wednesday. The fact that PRC, I don't know who the heck that is. I guess that's the Republic of China, People's Republic of China. Hackers are targeting our critical infrastructure, water treatment plants, our electrical grid. And I want to go back to this water treatment plant because now I read a story that Iran allegedly did the water treatment plant stuff in Pennsylvania, I think that was. And I think Iran was responsible for the attack in Florida and Tampa. So I don't know. Everybody is doing stuff. And it's not like, America is innocent and we don't do stuff. Everybody's just doing tit for tat. And we can't get caught up in who they say is doing what because if you watch the news and you look at a couple stories, another nation was accused of doing this or took responsibility or found to have done something or used some type of exploit. So you can't get caught up in who did what. All you need to know is they're looking at the water treatment plant, so you got to be prepared for water. They're looking at the electrical grid, so you got to be prepared for power outage. Oil and natural gas pipelines, that means you could not have heat for your home, and you can't cook if you use natural gas. And if you use oil, that means we won't have gasoline for our cars and oil, or whatever we need for our uh, automobiles, farming equipment, other types of equipment used that use oil. Trucks, long haul trucks that need oil for hauling food and other supplies that we use. Our transportation systems. So that could mean buses and trains and airplanes. And the risk that poses to every American requires our attention, FBI Director Christopher Wray told the House Select Committee on Competition with China. So the hearing coincided with the FBI's confirmation that it obtained search warrants and issued a remote kill command to wipe Volt Typhoon's botnet after the Chinese crew infected hundreds of end-of-life routers and attempted to break into American critical infrastructure targets. Don't know what those targets are. They notice they don't tell you. After breaking into victims' routers, the Volt Typhoon crew evades detection by using legitimate IP addresses and credentials, plus other tools to communicate with their spy masters and move throughout the target environment. Such incidents are no longer a theoretical threat, added U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency Jen Easterly, noting that CISA has seen Volt Typhoon burrowing deep into our critical infrastructure to enable active attacks in the event of a major crisis. So, to me, this is it's significant for us because it just lets you know they're already set up to do whatever it is that they're going to do, or they've stolen whatever they need to steal, if that's the case. Or if it's us, it's just, oh, we're going to put this out here and just say they did it. We don't have any way of knowing because the internet is controlled and what we see is controlled by algorithms. So we'll never know the truth unless you dig really hard to find somebody saying, oh, no, we didn't do that. But even if they say it, how will we know? Because everybody's playing the game and everybody's lying. That's why I don't care about what they say about who's done what or placing blame. I just care about what is going to happen so that we can be prepared for it. So it says this is a world major crisis halfway across the planet, could well endanger the lives of Americans here at home through the disruption of our pipelines, the severing of our telecommunications, which means your phones won't work, the pollution of our water facilities, which is why I was telling y'all, get you some water treatment pills, have you another way to get you some water that doesn't have anything to do with water coming out of your taps that you have to consume. It may be good for flushing your toilets if it works at all, but not for cooking, not for cleaning, not for bathing, because we don't know if those things will be contaminated or poisoned. The crippling of our transportation modes, which is why it's going to be really important for you to be in shape because you may have to walk. You may have to hopefully you're not on any type of transportation that is going to be stuck someplace where you can't move, or you're in the air and air travel is disrupted and planes drop out of the sky like in that movie Leave the World Behind. So a lot of stuff could happen, and I don't, like I said, I do not believe that movie was just put out there for no reason. And here they are saying this stuff again. I feel like they're just giving us warnings because later on this year they're going to whop us with all kinds of stuff. So we just have to be ready. All to ensure that they can incite societal panic and chaos, and they need chaos so they can bring order. So that's why I'm paying attention to this too, because they have keywords in here to me that are symbolic to their plan. The adversary has a plan, and most people are not really paying attention to it. They don't pay attention to the signs, symbols, and codes that are used when they telegraph to each other. And when they mock us, because they basically tell us in our faces what they're going to do, and most people don't pay attention to it. And to deter our ability to marshal military might and civilian will, she added. So this is very interesting because they talk about the military, and y'all know I showed y'all that map the other day of like, we sending our military everywhere. We're sending our weapons quietly everywhere. Our stuff is in Europe. They're getting ready to try to fight Russia. We got stuff in the Middle East. They're attacking Syria, Afghanistan, and Iraq. We got troops going to Guyana to protect the oil field down there that was just discovered and counter Venezuela. It's stuff going on all over the world. And we really are like, and recruiting is down. Excuse me. So we don't really have a strong military like we've had in the past. And these new millennial children who you can't holler at, you got to have you can't even scream at the young people in basic training anymore. They have cards that basically are timeouts if they feel stressed, and it's just wild. Do you hear what I say? When I tell you we don't have any protection, we don't have no protection. You better be knowing how to protect yourself. And when they talk about civilian will, I feel like that's code for, it's gonna be knuck if you buck. You're gonna have to fight for yourself. You're gonna fend for yourselves, and folks are gonna be thinking that they can rely on these infrastructures that we've had in the past, and we're basically gonna be in a period of where we're gonna have lawlessness, and that's gonna be intentional. And then they're gonna come in. They're gonna let lawlessness happen for a good period of time, where a number of people are gonna be taken out. A number of people are going to starve. A number of people are going to be poisoned. Then you got all these sleeper cells that's going to wake up and do stuff. And it's just going to be hell in certain places. Not everywhere, but in a lot of places. And then these people are going to be moving around. People who don't have protection will be taken out. People who don't have support systems will be overrun. A lot of children and single moms, they're not going to fare well. And um, it's just going to be wild. It's going to be a wild time. So this statement about their actions will deter our ability to marshal military might and civilian will is interesting. So it says earlier reports suggested that American government officials were worried and this nation state group was biding its time and planning to disrupt military installations and internet service providers if China invaded Taiwan and the US provided support for the island nation. So the internet will be going down if anything happens, and so we need to be prepared for that. The aim is clear. In the early stages of a conflict, they want to disrupt our military's ability to mobilize and to impact the systems that allow us to thrive in our increasingly digital world. Now, if digitalization is going to be a problem for protection, why do we want digitalization? So, do you see again how stupid the stuff is that they want? They want stuff that don't work for um, nefarious purposes, but they sell it to us like, oh, your phone is going to be faster, your internet is going to be faster. No, it's just, this fast internet is for war games, and we buy into it because they always give it to you in some candy coated package so that you can um, buy into it. And then when you figure out you done been hoodwinked, it's way too late. So this is another one of those situations. This puts critical infrastructure owners and operators, the vast majority of whom are private organizations, on the front lines. But in addition to attacking U.S. energy grids and water systems, which would likely incite a kinetic war, and I told y'all about the kinetic war. We talked about that. I have a video, I'll connect it at the end of this video. China has also China also has less overtly destructive cyber tools at its disposal, including disinformation spread via TikTok and other social media, and AI capabilities such as deep fakes intended to sway U.S. elections. Well, if you check out the U.S. elections, you don't even have to worry about that. And that's what I suggest most African American Black people do, because the system doesn't work for you anyway. It is not working for you. Any legislation that was created specifically for African American Black people has been hijacked by everybody except for Black people. It works for everyone except for Black people. So, really, the political process does not work for us because it was not meant for us. So, if you disengage from that piece, you can't be fooled. And that's what I did a couple of years ago, and it works well. I don't necessarily care about what they do because they're going to do what they want to do anyway. AI, is quite challenging, but if you pay attention to the way certain people comment, the usernames, profiles, etc., there's a way for you to figure out deep fakes or AI on social media. And what they call those things, troll farms in other countries where people sit in rooms all day and taunt people, certain groups of people at certain times when certain people speak. You'll notice that there'll be patterns, and so you won't be tricked so easily if you pay attention to the patterns on social media. And I don't use TikTok, so and the reason that I don't use TikTok is because when I learned that other nations don't allow their people to be consuming as much trash as we do, I figured out it was a psyop to dumb down our population, and it has worked. So I try to stay away from those types of platforms that just constantly have you looking at trash all day, so that my mind can stay on point. So in any event, it says these aren't easy problems to solve, as Ray has repeatedly noted and did again in front of the House panel. Chinese cyber spies outnumber the FBI's cyber agents 50-1. So why is that? The U.S. agency directors also told lawmakers the U.S. needs better partnerships and threat sharing between the private sector and the government. So this is where they're getting ready to merge. This is where I'm getting ready to start talking about the beast infrastructure. So the beast infrastructure is getting ready to get stronger because we're getting ready to become like the People's Republic of China. The government's going to control everything. There won't be a private sector. It won't be a public-private partnership anymore. It will be the government controls everything, and these private corporations will have to share. They will basically have to work as an arm of the government, and therefore we won't have any privacy, which is why you're not going to want to use the internet soon. Whenever it converts and whenever this happens, you're not going to want to use the internet. Just pay attention to what happened to Twitter and Facebook and some of these other social media platforms during COVID. They were used, they were infiltrated or forced, or I won't say forced. They gave up their information because basically, if you understand the history of the internet and these social media platforms, they were created to collect our information on behalf of the government. And you look at where a lot of these children of the corn came from. They came from MIT, Harvard, some of these other Ivy League schools. Their parents work for the government. Like, you got to do some research into these people. They're not just accidental billionaires discover something good. No, these people are plants, and so we have to understand that when we use these tools of the adversary, they're not there for us. We can try to use them for good, but they were always created for evil against us. So it says, in addition to these challenges, there's the ongoing cybersecurity skills shortage, which Coker said includes 500,000 open infosec jobs. Um, Fixing these problems also requires holding software companies liable for buggy products, according to Easterly. This is a battle cry that Easterly repeated during her CISA tenure. The agency wants vendors to make their tech secure by design so it's safe out of the box, and this responsibility isn't passed on to businesses and end users. But it was built like that anyway. I mean, they make it so they can continually make money. All these updates, you got to keep paying for them, and they push them, and it's just a bunch of mess. Like, if we just had paper and pencil, we didn't have to worry about this. File cabinet, lock your stuff up. A secure office with bars on the window. Don't, it's so cheap. No, you don't need all this. Unfortunately, the technology underpinning our critical infrastructure is inherently insecure because of decades of software developers not being held liable for defective technology that has led to incentives where features and speed to market have been prioritized against security, leaving our nation vulnerable to cyber invasion. So this is the cyber pandemic that Klaus Schwab keeps talking about. It's coming. It is coming. So this is why you need to be prepared. This is why I tell you get all your stuff out of the cloud. Write down your passwords and stuff. Not that it's going to be really important once the internet goes down, but anything that is vital, emails, proof of stuff, you want to get that stuff and put it on your personal devices, off the internet, so you don't have to access it. Same with bank statements, all those things. If you don't have all those hard copies of those types of things, you need to get them in your possession, whether it's a PDF or whether you go to the bank and actually have that stuff printed out and pay for it, or print it out yourself. Um, However you want to do it. But if there's some things that you need for your own personal proof, tax statements, bills, etc., do that. Um, Technology manufacturers must ensure that China and other cyber actors cannot exploit the weakness in our technology to saunter through the open doors of our critical infrastructure to destroy it, she added. This has to change. So, this is just crazy. Anyway, I want to share this with you, um, just to let you know that some stuff is happening, and it's all being forecasted. So there's no surprise for us. When it happens, it's just how we knew it was going to happen. And just be prepared. That's all you can do. But the critical infrastructure piece is really important. So you need to understand that, again, power could be impacted, water could be impacted, your ability to access natural gas for cooking and gas for your vehicle to move is could be impacted. So this is why you need to have gas cans with gasoline in them around your home, so that if you need fuel to put in your car, you have some spare. Um, if you need to cook, you need to have alternative sources to prepare food. There are lots of things that you can do to counter this. We don't know how long these things will take place. Even if you have to use wood and make you a fire outside, have you something that you can cook on outside. I don't care if it's a cast iron pot, cast iron skillets, whatever you got to do, figure it out. But figure it out quickly, because this is the year when all the chaos is going to break out. And they keep on talking about chaos. They didn't put this movie out, Leave the World Behind, at the end of the year for nothing. They're not talking about Civil War, that movie that's coming out in April, for nothing. What's going on in Texas, this, I'm telling you. And then we got viruses coming out of everywhere. They're digging up stuff from way back when and taking it into the labs and juicing it up and unleashing it on us. We got hell on our hands. So we need to be praying the days are shortened, because we ain't going to make it out of this if we got to. This is stressful. I don't know about y'all, but I don't hardly sleep because I'm just tired. And I'm really, I'm making light of it, but it is just a lot. And every day it's something. And I can see. I wish I could be blind and happy and stuff like other people. I just can't do it. So, in any event, y'all just keep prepping, keep praying, because faith without some work is dead. You cannot survive what's coming, and you're not supposed to fear it, but you definitely got to prepare for it. So make sure you have those go bags ready. You keep a go bag in your car. You keep some in your house for every person in your household. Use those lists that we talked about earlier, maybe last year sometime, about just preparing for all sorts of disasters. So you got to prepare for cold, you got to prepare for heat, you got to prepare for weather, we got to prepare for everything. And you cannot just take a break. It's constant. So constantly be thinking about, what can I do to prepare my family in the event that I have some stragglers that I have to help. What can I have for them too? All right, I'm going to end this video now. So please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified each and every time I upload new content. Make sure you are still subscribed to the channel, because YouTube unsubscribes people all the time. Check often as well, because a lot of times the videos aren't viewed because YouTube doesn't send out notifications for my channel, because they don't want people to know stuff. They want y'all to perish. I want you to live. They want you to not live. So we have different goals and objectives, and so I expect the pettiness from them, but it will not deter me. Follow me on Odyssey and Rumble. In the event that this channel goes down, I will be on those platforms, and I will put out content on Rumble if I'm allowed to. And that's providing the internet is still up. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. If I need to notify you, I will notify you there. And lastly, keep prepping, keep praying, keep seeking the Most High, obey those laws, statutes, and commandments. Pray to be found worthy to escape what's coming, because a lot of stuff is being thrown at us. And it's not just us here in America, although we will get the brunt of it, but it's going to be happening all over the planet. Um, Hell is going to be on earth for a season. And we need to be ready for it. The Creator has given us a roadmap and instructions on what to do when things get bad. And those of us who have eyes to see and ears to hear and a heart and a spirit that's connected with the Creator, we are planning and we are preparing. We are doing what we need to do silently so that we will be ready for what is to come. But there's no need to think that you're going to have some earthly savior that's going to rescue you, because nobody's coming. If you haven't figured that out by now, I don't know what to say about you. But do your best to prepare. Live holy. Repent from your sins daily, sins of commission and sins of omission. And continue to stay connected to our source. House of Jacob, Israelites, and Gentiles who cleave unto us. Because we are getting ready to go for a ride. And I never thought in my lifetime I would be living to see this stuff. But it's here. And they're telling us what they're going to do. So be prepared. Keep watch. All right, y'all. This is Marta K. Love y'all. And I'm out.